child, that's going to take forever.
So here's the real question. Because no one's gonna come out, because we're the villains, so we're gonna do this, but no one's really gonna fucking do this. The convoy fucking worked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no one's gonna fucking admit it. I don't want to admit it.
I actually saw it a mile away that it was going to work.
It's disgusting that it worked. The fact that you can have...
No one's done anything about it, like, before it even happened, was hilarious.
Well, here's the thing. I work and own
Trudeau
a
knew
bar
like a month ahead before this was coming that it happened.
Oh, the truckers have been planning it for months. They've known
about it. And Trudeau knew about it. Nobody said or done anything about it this entire time.
They didn't think
oh shit, it's a problem, guys!
Dude.
What a twist.
Our government got brought... No. To be fair to the Canadian government still has not and will not bend. But the provinces did.
Yeah, the federal government is stubborn as fuck because as long as Trudeau's manning, he's going to be arrogant as fuck.
And because the provinces bent the knee, it's making him look bad. Even though he has no control over what the provinces do.
Since he abandoned Canada, man. What a fucking pussy.
Don't even start. He has not abandoned Canada. I hate the guy too, but that's so
He literally
stupid.
left. They said he took him to a super location.
So has every fucking other president.
It's so funny.
Donald Trump left the country
Honestly,
when there was
hilarious.
fucking problems, when there was having that whole summer where there was riots all the time.
And that's embarrassing too.
That's absolutely embarrassing too. What form of leadership does that stand when you flee from your constituents and your citizens?
What are you talking about? It is standards of practices of any sovereign state. If your
That's
capital city,
Secret Service.
where your leader and your commander in chief, or your king or queen, or the person you have elected in office is in danger, you move them out of that city.
I understand that the security has the job to do so.
I know,
but he still looks like a
truckers.
fucking
I know it was just truckers. But
especially since they knew the threat was coming months ahead of time. If you wanted to evacuate and set up that time, that totally was the thing. Shoot them. I love that. I love the stance of the military coming in. Shoot the protesters. You know how volatile that'll create of a situation?
No, what I'm saying is all the truckers have guns. So why and they know that.
At the moment,
so you don't want
guns at home.
You don't want to escalate.
None of the protesters there have any firearms. They've all been checked. They've all been through. Anyone who has had any form of weaponry has been arrested and has been charged.
Yes, except for the truckers who have registered firearms that are still in their cabs. Did you make sure you learn the end of those articles? There's still hundreds of thousands of truckers across Canada that have registered weapons in their cabs that are remaining in their cabs and in their lockboxes during this protest, but that doesn't mean the guns aren't there. And
they're not worried about that.
No, they're safe. They're safely stowed. I'm not going to be one of those people that says guns are bad. They're safely stowed. They're obviously...
That's the point of being registered, right?
But you do
That's not what they're worried about.
Do not kid yourself. If you are the head of government and you need to run a country, and in reality, as much as I hate to say it, Trudeau had no control over this because this is a provincial issue.
He just saw it a mile away.
100% provincial issue. And this is why you have the provinces bending. This is why Saskatchewan is now open. Why Alberta is now getting back open. Why Quebec is opening. Why BC is not opening. Why Manitoba is not opening. Because it is a provincial issue that Trudeau has no control over. And so you're sitting there, you're head of the government, they're asking you to do something.
I'm well aware that Trudeau, he doesn't have too much other than to try to
fuck off because you have better stuff to do. You have an entire fucking country to run.
As someone who sets up following this political setup, the whole setup of making this the front line of what Trudeau has set up is where the problem has ended up. And now, I'm going to say that they're not worried about in the way of people having firearms. What they're worried about is losing money, as that these trucks will take a profound amount of money and time to remove the fact that they had to actually pay for, they had to buy, the Ottawa police force had to literally buy a series of tow trucks because every tow truck company was not going to risk that. Now they have no one to operate these tow trucks, and they also have no one that's willing to go through these places and tear apart the 18 wheelers that have locked air brakes that are going to take, if not weeks, probably over a month to uninstall and remove and to legally return to all of these people.
That's all a city and provincial issue.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not saying that.
I don't know, and I know you're not disagreeing. I'm mostly telling.
I'm just saying that that's not the firearms. They're not worried about. I'm well aware that. I'm well aware that it's not that a lot of it's coming down to how municipality and provincial governments are deciding to respond to this. But at the same time, there still has a stance of, as the prime minister, as a leadership, he's literally led an influential campaign of this, and he can do the same if he felt the need to do so. Now he continues to keep the stance of what he had fallen through, and now there's like with a number of health officials in some places flipping their mind and some people flipping in the other way. It's created more caustic unsurety between the political parties.
I disagree to a point, because like for us here in Canada, every time Justin Trudeau or the health minister of Canada has made an announcement, it has always been a suggestion to the provinces. They've always worded it that way. We suggest to the provinces to do this. We suggest that the provinces should look at this.
Oh yeah, that's how they started.
The provinces would usually fall in line. Alberta being one of the last ones too, because we live here. We know, but like it's one of those things that always been a pressure. It's been a pressure. It's been a pressure cooker, right, from one side to the other.
Absolutely.
And so. When people tell me like, oh, Justin Trudeau, oh, he's weak because he left, I'm like, you know what? Of all the things he's ever done, because I definitely I'm not a liberal. I don't support him, but it doesn't mean I'm going to fault him for leaving the fucking city when he's trying to lead a whole fucking country. He doesn't have time for 32,000 people.
Oh yeah,
or he doesn't have time for 500,000 people. He has to run a country of 36 to 40 million.
Completely understanding, and for the most part, I'm going to say I don't know how much he runs as a figurehead, but what I want to kind of call back to in a sense is that you're right. Like it's all been a suggestion in a certain point. The point is that what I was trying to kind of sense into is that what came with this the impromptu election, he made that, and a number of parties made that their platform for the campaign. When they made that platform for the campaign, and like I'm talking about the Liberals, I'm talking about the Conservatives, and I'm talking about the NDP. These parties made a stance of that these mandates, this political medical choice, is going to be the front line of our campaign, a personal choice, and they've made that politicized. That's the issue I'm discussing. Yes, before then it was a completely suggested thing. But when it became the front line of your political campaign, then it's questionable what you're leading your campaign for.
You're right, but the only person who came out and said the vaccines are optional was whatever his name is, the Conservative candidate, Peter O'Toole.
There was also the Maxime Bernier. He made it a platform where he was not going to have he was going to end mandates.
About Maxime Bernier.
That's a political party. That's literally a political party. So you can't say that doesn't make a difference. Same with the Green Party.
Is it? Did they make 3% of the vote? I don't even think they made 3. I know the Green Party is no longer a party. They did not make 3% of the vote.
They did not match up for this one. I know that.
They're no longer
a number of these places, like this party, also made the opposite stance, right? And I'm saying is that whole stance in general, putting that medical decision as a front line of your campaign, that's where I disagree with. I absolutely think it should be a suggestion. It should be what these protesters in my mind are saying. It's your choice, right? The point is that I'm disagreeing with is when you are forced to lose your job, your livelihood, and literally starve on the street and become homeless because of this choice. I'm one of the few that will sit there and make that choice because I know how to survive in a wilderness setting. I know how to survive homeless. I've never been homeless, but I'm well aware of where to find food, how to make my own food, how to stay warm. These things I'm well aware of, committed to it, and I've made those choices in my life. Everyone has to make an evaluation of what they want to choose, right? That's the whole point, and that's what I love about, I'm going to say as Canadian, I enjoy the most and what I like about these protests is advocating for the choice, right? If you want to be vaccinated, fine. And if it supports you, for people who have immune issues and who are health compromised, that in a sense, you should. If you think it's beneficial for you and you think your health is at risk, by all means. Some people it might not be necessary. Some people who don't have certain problems, and there's ways to show that a lot of the medical science behind it shows that as these mutations go on, they're becoming less in severity, because the way a disease spreads, if it kills you before it gets to somebody else, the disease dies too. It has failed its job. A disease spreads through people who live. That's how it works. It can't reproduce as a disease if there's no one to spread to, and if the body dies, then the disease can no longer reproduce. So as diseases evolve, they evolve to spread. So they lose it less in danger, but they increase in contagion. So they're become more infectious, but they become less dangerous.
Whoever told you that when you die, a disease dies with you is really dumb.
I didn't say the disease dies with you. I said the disease, it can't reproduce.
That's
exactly
very
what you said, though.
That's a very, very, very dumb thing.
It's genuinely true. When there's no cells to reproduce off of, it's yes. And not every disease operates this way.
It will die eventually. Like it will. Yes. It will die eventually.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm well aware that it will continue to stay on a decaying body and a corpse for a number of days.
Okay. The way you worded it, it sounded like when they die, the thing dies. So I'm sitting here and I'm like,
we see that in there's fungus. I understand that still be creatures and bacteria that feed the corpses. That's not what I'm saying. We saw that with the bubonic plague back in the literal first, probably recorded in a sense, pandemic. I understand that. My point is that
just clarifying.
The disease evolves.
Just clarifying.
That's where it goes to. It's meant to become more contagious, less.
By the way, Maxime Bernier and the People's Party of Canada is not an official party. They did not make the threshold.
I see. But my point of that was even still that they put this platform as something for their campaign. I disagree with that. I think that shouldn't have been something for platforms at all. It should have been, we're going to, address perhaps indigenous reconciliation, or perhaps maybe economy inflation, or perhaps border control or gun control. The various stances that normally have set to set.
Back up just 2 seconds. I just want to touch on something since I have a little bit of a soapbox here and you brought it up.
Yeah, stand on your soapbox.
People, if you ever want to sound smart and you want to talk about the economy, never, ever fucking say the word inflation. You don't know what inflation is. And I'm saying that to everyone listening to this podcast, because unless you are a political science accountant and have taken 5 years of actual inflation in the economy, you have no fucking idea what it is. I have some small idea of what inflation is, and I'm just going to tell everyone out there, inflation is always happening.
Absolutely, every day, that's everywhere. The stock market. You look at that everywhere. Yeah, the dollar changes literally all the time.
If you want to sound smart, just take inflation and throw it out the window and never say the word. And just work with economy that way. Because anyone who starts talking about the economy, if they start talking inflation, that is your word. You heard inflation, that person's a fucking idiot. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and walk away.
See, and I'm going to take
they are an economist. If they are an economist, then listen. But if they are not, you wait for that word.
And I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that devil's. I'm going to take that devil's advocate for a situation to say, as much as there's the word inflation, there is also the word deflation, right? So you can use these stances in both the political situations. For those who are more versed in the economic studies and literally probably work in the stock market and motivate these things, I barely know half this shit, so I'm not going to pretend like I do. But I'm well aware these things have been around. We had the Great Depression, and
anyway,
the dollar goes up and down all the time based on products you sell. So yes, there's always an inflation and a deflation consistently throughout every day. It does not change.
We're talking about politics. I figured you mentioned inflation. I might as well get my dig in now.
Yeah. We're villains. We take shots at each other. Shoot me as you see fit.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, politics are fun. Politics are chaos. And
can they be fun? I'll tell you what's more fun. NFTs.
Oh boy.
You want to
Don't buy
throw away
NFTs.
your money? Do you feel that you have millions of dollars or thousands or $100?
Are we gonna
I'll
start
tell you
making
what. I'll tell you
NFTs?
what. I will draw you a picture.
Villain talk show
It's
NFTs coming
it's
out soon.
non-fungible.
That'll
You
that'll be
give
our,
me
that'll be our Twitch emotions eventually, or emoticons.
We need a blockchain. We would need it's the blockchain that you buy. But even then,
Yeah, you know
don't
what
be
I'm hearing right
fooled.
now.
It's
Look,
lies.
we're gonna start the villains coin. We're gonna start the villains coin. Invest in villains
God.
coin right now.
No, shut up. No, we can actually get sued for
No.
that.
It's called
Please
Minion
don't
Coin.
say those words. No, it's all lies. For legal reasons, everything Insanieac said was a lie.
Villains coin. Now a new wonderful thing that we are not considering, but perhaps we'll consider in the future. Who knows where life takes us? Because inflation consistently go forward. Welcome to the Villains Talk Show, where we stir the pot.
The last thing I want is for us to get famous like 10 years from now and some guy go back to this episode and be like, here they fucking said they were selling NFTs on the show.
Cancel culture is gonna hit us hard one day. I have no doubt about that. We're gonna get hit with things that we shouldn't have said. And we're like, man,
have you seen how bad they dig into people's past?
That's why we're the Villains Talk Show. That's why we set up this. We're gonna say things you don't like, and we have a stance of we don't know what we're talking about. So if you don't like the things what we're talking about, you're welcome to disagree. Oh, you know what
None
you're
of us know what we're talking about.
Tell me, Sports Puck. Tell me more about the things
I
that
am
you
the
know.
smartest man on this show.
Oh man,
The Grease Goblin.
but not only are you the
Yeah, I
smartest,
was gonna say,
when you want to be smart, you drink Dos Equis, don't you?
That was very sexual for no reason.
No, that was the beer commercial. My goodness, how I thought you knew things. Holy goodness, what a! I think we just
sake. You mean sake?
Oh my god.
Like the rice wine.
Dos Equis, the most finest gentleman in the world commercial.
Dos Equis.
Oh my goodness.
Dos Ex.
Wow.
Because Dos Equis is not Spanish.
I'm gonna look this up right now just so I can make
Oh my god, you were saying Dos Ex, aren't you? You were saying the Mexican beer Dos Ex. That's funny.
The most interesting gentleman in the world.
Yeah. Dos Ex. I know what you're talking about now.
I'm sorry. English is my main language.
To be fair, I thought you were saying Deuce Eggies, and I was like, what the fuck's
No, I said Dos Equis.
Yeah, I got that.
I'm pronouncing it wrong. Make fun of me for you see fit. But I was trying to make a joke of you're clearly the most smartest man in the world, so obviously you drink Dos Equis. Wow, man, my jokes are so good when we get explained them through C4's perspective.
No, I love you. I love your jokes because when you get all riled up, you fumble over your words, but you still make complete sentences that I can understand.
Somehow I still managed to know what I'm
talking about. You still land the sentence, but it doesn't matter. It's a bit of a rocky landing. You still sticking.
I meant word gymnastics are somehow my forte, even though I butcher it at every stance.
Exactly. Hey, as long as you stick the landing, everyone thinks it's a sentence.
I'm the most logistic man, the linguistic man ever.
This is when you go to like an airport fucking security. You're like, "Hello, ma'am. What's your name? My name is Steinberg."
I hate to say this, but Insaniac's actually right on the pronunciation.
Am I? Oh, thank God. I'm just pronouncing it the way I've heard it.
Dos Equis.
Dos Equis.
Yeah.
I'm just pronouncing it the way they say it.
I don't believe it because that's
I
not
just
how
looked it up.
No,
it's DOSEQUIS. Dos Equis. That makes more sense.
Dos Equis.
Oh, enunciation.
I'm to go through the most interesting man in the world because we're most interesting villains right now. So be sure to like, subscribe, follow, and all that fun stuff. Check out the social medias, and yeah, Buzzsprout's amazing. Do the things and stuff.
All right. So there's 3 different enunciations. There's the Spanish, British, and American. Spanish is X, American is Equis, and British is Equus.
I like that one. I like that one.
So
I don't know who hit that. Stay tuned, but I like that.
Spanish, twice the letter X. Yes, that's the symbol of the beer. Dos Equis.
Ah, there we go. We're not sponsored by Dos Equis, but
Did we?
you know,
Yeah, that was 6-second clip, right? That's legal.
we're
Yes,
not
it was
we're
a
we're
6-second clip.
That
we're
better
we're,
be.
Very
we're
good.
not
I
sponsored.
am not
we're just,
editing that out.
we're just a fan, and we're just talking about Dos Equis because it's a podcast
Anyway,
that's
it
related
is
to our
midnight. We are definitely half an hour past our bedtime.
Actually,
appreciate
it's
all for being
3
here.
minutes to midnight.
You were host of the day, so you
Man.
were the show.
Am I
Speaking,
coherent today?
speaking of fumbling of words, you. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. My name is Insanieac. We're ending it tonight because we're amazing. Because C4 says he's the greasy boy.
Just immediately autopilot. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Wait a second, we're actually ending it.
I know the things and stuff that I say. That was intentional, 100%, and you cannot say otherwise. This was not scripted. And we we love you all. Check out the social medias and stuff. Check out the link tree. Like, subscribe, all the fun stuff. Check out the
everyone
Patreon.
out there, nothing better to do.
I'm
I'm glad
sorry,
you spent
you
it
all.
with us here.
We're the best. We're the villains. We appreciate you all.
Honestly,
Like, subscribe.
Honestly, people out there in cyberspace, how do you put up with us?
We're I don't want to say that we're the greatest, but we're learning.
It's because we're pretty. At least 2/3 of us.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
I
at
was
least,
us maybe.
maybe we're
maybe more
still-
than others.
Yeah, I'm just saying, at least 2/3 of us are pretty.
I mean,
Good
there's
night,
5 of us on our main hosting. So.
And one of them isn't showing.
Ouch. That's
That was
what do you
just
call it?
mean.